Now, let's look as well at what happens when we don't have play in the early years. And the research seems more and more and more to be telling us that it affects mental health and behavioral and academic outcomes. So, losing the space to play. David Elkind, in his book, The Power of Play, said that over the last 2 decades, children have lost 12 hours of free time a week. And that means unstructured play. Playing soccer in an organized soccer league is not playtime. It's a pickup game. That's the playtime. Children have become more and more structured, etc. So there has been a loss there. This free, unstructured play, pickup games, self-initiated dramatic play are now being replaced by digital devices. So the playroom, we always had a playroom at our house. We had all sorts of dress-up clothes. My children were little before there were digital devices. They and all their friends would go downstairs and play dress-up. We had the best dress-up clothes in the neighborhood, and they would play dress-up. Now the kids would probably play something on the iPad. Stuart Brown, and by the way, look at these guys, the Encyclopedia of Play Science. Outdoor play has decreased by 71% in one generation, both in the US and the UK. And then Peter Gray came along, and basically he has a book, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the title of it right now. I will be providing you, not today, but shortly after today, a list of all of these resources. But basically, he concluded that the escalating diagnoses of childhood anxiety, depression, and ADHD has paralleled the loss of play. Oh my goodness. Why is play necessary for emotional well-being? Well, we know, and especially during this time of pandemic, we've probably all seen that our children, when they're stirred up emotionally, the play will reflect the themes that they're struggling with. I'm absolutely certain that there is more doctor play and nurse play and hospital play and ambulance play than ever before. A few years ago, when there was a tornado in Western Quebec, the children played tornado for weeks on end in the kindergarten, right? Because that's what stirred them up. That was what was bothering them. They had to play it through. A dear colleague of mine who works very much with very, very young children, really, really little ones, had a little 3-year-old who played for days and days and days on end with the baby dolls, playing out what it felt like, which wasn't a very good feeling, to be an older brother with a baby that he didn't like. That he played it. He didn't hurt his baby brother, but he played out those emotions with the baby dolls around what was going on in his life. Play is how children naturally make sense of all the emotions that they're experiencing. They draw pictures, they make structures, there's games, and when they come out, so it was safe for that little boy to not like his baby brother in play. And often people say to me, especially when we talk about emotions, oh my goodness, it's just so much work to keep coming alongside a child's emotions. We don't have time, Eva, with all the children in our classrooms, to do emotional therapy with all of these children. Well, if we gave them enough time to play, oh my goodness, we wouldn't have to do so much emotional work. The other thing which I would absolutely love to do, and maybe I'll have a chance in my retirement, is I would love to spend time in a K4 room, especially when there's a good chunk of time for the children to play. I would love to, and I suspect that this is what I would see. Initially, children would start playing out their emotions, and then they would turn to what we call emergent play, which is now it's no longer playing about the little brother or playing tornado or playing hospital, but now it's about stretching the imagination, becoming who you are, trying to imagine who you are. So now I'm not playing doctor because I want to feel better, that doctors are going to make somebody better, but now I'm playing doctor because I want to know what it feels like to be a person who heals other people. I think we could actually see, if we were sensitive enough to it, the switch between emotional play and emergent play. And the ideal kind of play for brain development is emergent play. But until you deal with your emotions, you cannot take the luxury of getting into other kinds of development.